Have you ever wondered how radio waves can travel across continents, bringing music, news, and stories right into our homes? The invention of radio was a game changer that transformed global communication, connecting people in ways that were once unimaginable. Get ready for a journey through some fascinating, little-known facts about the history and science of radio, from its mysterious origins to the powerful impact it still has today. Join us as we explore 7 amazing facts about the invention of radio and its lasting legacy. Guglielmo Marconi and the race to transmit wireless sound. Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor, is often hailed as the father of radio. But the race to send sound through the air was competitive and intense. Marconi's early interest in electricity and engineering inspired him to experiment with the transmission of signals without wires. By 1895, he had managed to send and receive signals over short distances, and in 1901 he made headlines when he transmitted a signal across the Atlantic Ocean. Marconi's achievement marked the beginning of long-distance wireless communication, paving the way for what we know today as radio. It's fascinating to note that Marconi's work wasn't entirely original. He built on discoveries by scientists like Nikola Tesla, Heinrich Hertz, and Alexander Popov, each of whom made vital contributions to electromagnetic wave theory. While Marconi was the first to bring radio technology to the mainstream, many believe that Tesla deserves equal credit for his pioneering ideas about wireless transmission. Marconi's commercial success, however, established his legacy and earned him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1909. The historical debate over Marconi's role reflects the complexity of invention and innovation. Inventions often come from collective contributions rather than one individual's genius, and radio is no exception. The collaboration and competition between inventors like Marconi and Tesla highlight how radio was not just a technical challenge, but also a global pursuit for knowledge and progress. This competition sparked creativity, driving inventors to push the boundaries of what seemed scientifically possible. As Marconi's technology evolved, so did the possibilities of radio. His initial focus was on wireless telegraphy, transmitting Morse code without cables. But eventually, radio waves were adapted to carry voices and music. Today, Marconi's breakthroughs are remembered as the start of a new era in human communication, transforming how we share information, connect with others, and experience the world. The role of radio waves and how they work. Radio waves are a type of electromagnetic wave, which means they travel at the speed of light. What's fascinating is that these waves carry information through vibrations, which are translated into sounds by the receiver. Radio waves themselves are invisible, silent, and only perceptible through technology, which allows us to experience the sound they carry. When a transmitter emits radio waves, they spread out in all directions, passing through walls and other obstacles, which is why you can listen to a radio inside a building, or even while driving through a tunnel. These waves vary in frequency and wavelength, creating different channels and frequencies. For instance, AM, amplitude modulation radio waves vary in amplitude, while FM, frequency modulation, radio waves vary in frequency. Each type of wave has unique properties. AM radio waves can travel long distances, especially at night when they reflect off the ionosphere, creating a skip effect. This is why you can sometimes pick up stations from far away when listening to AM at night. FM radio, on the other hand, has a shorter range but provides higher sound quality, which makes it ideal for music. The physics behind radio waves may sound complex, but it all boils down to this. Radio frequencies allow us to send signals over vast distances, turning invisible vibrations into recognizable sounds. The range of radio frequencies is incredibly wide, from very low frequencies used for long-distance communication to very high frequencies used for short-range applications like Wi-Fi. Radio waves are so essential to modern technology that they are carefully managed and regulated, with each frequency range assigned specific uses to avoid interference. The magic of radio waves lies in how effortlessly they bridge distances. From listening to the news broadcast across states to tuning into international music, radio waves make it all possible. Even though most people don't think about it, every time you turn on the radio, you're tapping into a remarkable scientific phenomenon. The golden age of radio entertainment. In the 1920s, radio quickly became a sensation, transforming entertainment across the world. Known as the golden age of radio, this era brought live music, dramatic storytelling, and news broadcasts to audiences everywhere. Before television became popular, families gathered around the radio to listen to plays, serial dramas, and live performances. Radio became a central part of daily life, with programs like soap operas, children's stories, and comedy shows captivating audiences. Radio's ability to reach people regardless of socio-economic background contributed to its widespread influence. During the Great Depression, radio served as an escape, providing entertainment and comfort during difficult times. Programs like The Lone Ranger and The Shadow became household favorites, with fans tuning in every week to hear the latest adventures. Radio broadcasters and producers realized the potential of radio to connect with listeners, and so they began creating content that encouraged regular listening, forming the early model of appointment listening. One of radio's most famous moments came in 1938 with Orson Welles' broadcast of the War of the Worlds. The dramatic, realistic style of the broadcast reportedly caused some listeners to panic, thinking an actual alien invasion was underway. This incident demonstrated the power of radio to evoke real emotions and even influence public perception. Welles's broadcast remains a fascinating example of how radio could blur the lines between fiction and reality, immersing listeners in the story. While the golden age eventually faded with the rise of television, radio's impact on entertainment endures. The techniques developed by early radio producers influenced modern storytelling in television, film, and even podcasts, proving that radio's legacy goes far beyond sound waves. The golden age remains a testament to radio's ability to captivate, entertain, and connect people. How radio helped shape world events. Radio became more than just entertainment, it was a critical tool in shaping history. During World War II, for example, radio served as an essential source of information. Leaders like Franklin D. Roosevelt used radio to speak directly to the public, reassuring them during uncertain times. His fireside chats connected the president to millions of listeners, creating a sense of closeness and trust. In Europe, the BBC broadcasted news and updates to occupied territories, providing hope to those living under oppressive regimes. Radio's ability to deliver real-time news transformed how people experienced world events. For the first time, citizens could hear reports from the front lines, speeches from their leaders, and updates on important events. This immediacy changed public engagement, making people more informed and connected to what was happening globally. During the D-Day invasion in 1944, BBC correspondents provided live reports, bringing the reality of war into the homes of ordinary citizens. Radio also played a major role in the civil rights movement. Activists and leaders used radio to broadcast their messages, reaching audiences that may have otherwise been isolated. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. and other influential figures understood the power of radio to mobilize, inform, and inspire people in their struggle for equality. As radio continued to develop, it became a tool for public education and awareness. Events like the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969 were broadcast live, uniting listeners worldwide in a shared experience. Radio brought history to life, turning faraway events into shared, impactful moments for millions of listeners. Radio's evolution into a music powerhouse. The rise of music radio transformed it into a cultural phenomenon and a powerful force in the music industry. In the 1950s and 60s, rock and roll exploded onto the scene, and radio stations became the primary way for fans to hear their favorite artists. DJs were pivotal in promoting new music, often becoming local celebrities with their distinct personalities and music tastes. Legendary DJs like Alan Freed introduced rock and roll to new audiences, helping to popularize artists like Elvis Presley and the Beatles. Radio stations became the epicenter of musical discovery, where trends were born and fan bases grew. Radio also played a major role in the rise of Motown, soul, and R&B, genres that had significant cultural impacts across the globe. The reach of radio helped break down social and racial barriers, bringing music from diverse backgrounds to mainstream audiences. Songs that were once regional or niche now had the potential to become national or even international hits thanks to radio airplay. This power made radio essential for both established artists and newcomers who relied on it for exposure. The concept of the Top 40 chart, which ranked the most popular songs, emerged from the radio industry. These playlists and countdown shows gave rise to hit culture, where everyone knew what was popular and trending. The Top 40 format became a global phenomenon, guiding listeners' tastes and influencing the music industry's focus on producing chart-topping singles. With the invention of portable radios, listeners could take their favorite music anywhere, from beach parties to road trips. This convenience further embedded radio in people's everyday lives, making it a soundtrack to countless personal moments and memories. Today, even with streaming services, radio remains a powerful medium for music discovery and a vital link between fans and their favorite artists. The science behind radio waves and space exploration. The same radio waves that bring you music and news have also been critical to exploring space. Radio waves travel through the vacuum of space, allowing scientists to communicate with spacecraft and rovers millions of miles away. Radio telescopes use these waves to listen to distant galaxies, stars, and even black holes, providing valuable data about our universe. The Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft, launched in 1977, continue to transmit data back to Earth using radio signals, even as they venture into interstellar space. Radio waves are ideal for space exploration because they can travel long distances without needing a physical medium. NASA and other space agencies rely on radio to control rovers, collect images from deep space, and receive scientific data. For example, the famous images and discoveries from the Mars rovers were all made possible by radio communication. Radio signals from Mars can take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to reach Earth, depending on the planet's positions, showing just how far-reaching radio technology is. Radio astronomy is another fascinating application where scientists use radio waves to study celestial bodies. Radio waves reveal information that is invisible to optical telescopes, including phenomena like pulsars, quasars, and cosmic microwave background radiation, the remnants of the Big Bang. These discoveries have expanded our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it, giving us insights into the universe's earliest moments. Even as we develop more advanced forms of communication, radio remains essential for space exploration. It's remarkable to think that the same principles Marconi pioneered are now being used to explore the furthest reaches of our galaxy, proving that radio is truly universal in its applications. This connection between everyday radio and cosmic exploration adds a new level of awe to a technology that we often take for granted. The enduring power and relevance of radio today. Despite the rise of television, the internet, and social media, radio has remained a popular and resilient medium worldwide. Over the years, radio has evolved with new technologies, from AM and FM to satellite and internet streaming. Today, online radio and podcasts have given radio a digital rebirth, allowing it to reach global audiences like never before. Streaming platforms allow anyone to access radio stations from around the world, connecting listeners with diverse cultures, music, and ideas. Radio also adapts quickly to serve specific needs and communities, which keeps it relevant even in today's digital age. During natural disasters and emergencies, radio remains one of the most reliable sources of information, as it doesn't rely on internet connectivity. Emergency broadcasts provide critical updates, helping people stay informed and safe during crises. Governments and organizations often prioritize radio for disaster communication, proving that its utility goes beyond entertainment. In many regions, radio continues to play a key role in education, health information, and public awareness. Community radio stations around the world broadcast in local languages, sharing information tailored to listeners' unique cultural and regional needs. In rural or remote areas, radio is often the most accessible form of communication, providing educational programs and healthcare advice that might otherwise be out of reach. For millions, radio is not only about the music or talk shows, it's about a sense of community and connection. Call-in shows, local news segments, and community events foster a feeling of belonging among listeners. Even as new forms of media emerge, radio remains a powerful, adaptable medium that connects, informs, and entertains people in ways that continue to evolve. That wraps up our journey through the incredible history of radio. From groundbreaking discoveries to its role in shaping world events, radio has been a remarkable force in human history. If you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Until next time, keep discovering the world's wonders with us.
Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how satellites make our modern world tick? From GPS navigation to weather forecasting and even connecting remote parts of the globe, satellites are the silent heroes orbiting miles above us. But how do they work, and what makes them so vital to our lives? Join us as we explore 10 simple yet fascinating facts about satellites, unraveling their mysteries and showcasing their importance in our everyday world. They defy gravity to stay in orbit. Satellites orbit Earth because they've mastered the art of balancing speed and gravity. Here's how it works. As a satellite is launched into space, it reaches incredible speeds of about 17,500 miles per hour. At this velocity, Earth's gravity pulls the satellite toward the surface, but its speed keeps it from crashing down. This creates a perfect loop, where the satellite is constantly falling toward Earth, but moving fast enough to miss it. This balance is what we call an orbit. Depending on their purpose, satellites are placed in different orbits. Low Earth orbit, for example, is perfect for satellites that need detailed imaging, like those used for mapping or weather monitoring. On the other hand, satellites in geostationary orbit match Earth's rotation, making them ideal for tasks like broadcasting TV signals. Understanding this delicate dance between speed and gravity reveals just how ingenious satellite design truly is. The rocket launch that places satellites in orbit is a marvel in itself. It's all about achieving escape velocity, the speed needed to break free of Earth's gravitational pull. Once in orbit, satellites don't need constant fuel. Their momentum and the vacuum of space keep them moving. Every satellite in orbit is a testament to the brilliance of engineering and physics, proving that humanity can reach for the stars, literally. So, the next time you check your GPS or tune into your favorite satellite channel, remember this delicate act of balancing speed and gravity. It's an extraordinary feat that has become a vital part of our everyday lives. They transform communication. Satellites revolutionize communication by bridging vast distances, making the world more connected than ever before. When you make an international phone call, watch live TV, or use the internet in a remote location, chances are a satellite is involved. These incredible machines relay signals from one part of the globe to another, bouncing them off their onboard transponders and back down to Earth. Before satellites, long-distance communication relied on undersea cables or radio waves, which were often slow or unreliable. Satellites changed the game by providing a direct link between locations, no matter how remote. Take geostationary satellites, for example. They hover over the same spot on Earth, enabling uninterrupted communication signals for live broadcasts or global internet coverage. The versatility of satellites doesn't stop there. They've become the backbone of global navigation systems like GPS, allowing your smartphone to pinpoint your location with extraordinary accuracy. Whether you're navigating a city or trekking through the wilderness, satellites are your invisible guides in the sky, ensuring you never lose your way. Think about how often you rely on satellites without even realizing it. They connect people across continents, provide internet access to the most isolated communities, and keep the world informed. Satellites are not just tools, they're the unsung heroes of modern communication. They keep an eye on Earth. Satellites are like Earth's eyes in the sky, constantly observing and gathering data about our planet. Whether it's tracking hurricanes, monitoring deforestation, or measuring sea levels, Earth observation satellites play a critical role in understanding and protecting our world. These satellites use advanced sensors and cameras to capture high-resolution images, providing scientists and governments with valuable insights. Weather satellites are among the most recognizable. They help meteorologists predict storms, map climate patterns, and even warn us of extreme weather events. Without them, accurate weather forecasting would be nearly impossible. Similarly, environmental satellites monitor changes in land use, track forest fires, and even help detect illegal mining or fishing activities. The information gathered isn't just for scientists. Farmers use satellite data to plan irrigation, conservationists monitor endangered habitats, and emergency responders rely on it for disaster management. These satellites make our lives safer and more efficient by turning data into actionable knowledge. Every image and piece of data from these satellites helps us understand our planet better. They remind us that Earth is a shared home, requiring constant care and attention. Satellites might be far away, but their impact is deeply rooted in the way we protect and cherish our environment. They've explored the universe. Satellites aren't limited to orbiting Earth. They've ventured far into the universe, unraveling mysteries of the cosmos. From the Hubble Space Telescope capturing breathtaking images of galaxies to interplanetary probes exploring distant planets, satellites are our robotic explorers. These missions expand humanity's understanding of space, answering questions we've pondered for centuries. The James Webb Space Telescope, for instance, is designed to peer into the universe's earliest moments, observing the formation of stars and galaxies. It's like a time machine, looking back billions of years. Other satellites like Voyager have traveled beyond our solar system, carrying messages from Earth in case they encounter extraterrestrial life. These space missions aren't just scientific endeavors, they inspire humanity's collective imagination. They remind us of our curiosity, our desire to explore, and our ability to create technology that reaches beyond what was once thought possible. With every satellite launched into space, we push the boundaries of what we know. They are humanity's extended hands, reaching into the vast unknown and bringing pieces of the cosmos back to us. They provide global navigation. Satellites have completely transformed the way we navigate the world. Think about it. Whether you're driving to a new city, tracking a package, or checking the best hiking trail, you're relying on satellites. The Global Positioning System, or GPS, is a network of satellites orbiting Earth that sends signals to your device. By calculating the time it takes for these signals to reach you, GPS pinpoints your exact location. This technology isn't just for maps. Airlines use GPS for safe flight paths, ships navigate vast oceans with pinpoint precision, and even farmers use it to plant crops in perfectly straight rows. It's an invisible network that makes modern life smoother and more efficient. What's fascinating is that GPS works in real time. The satellites are constantly communicating with ground stations and your device, ensuring that every move you make is tracked with incredible accuracy. Beyond GPS, there are other satellite navigation systems like Europe's Galileo and Russia's GLONASS, ensuring global coverage. Next time you find your way with just a tap on your phone, remember the satellites working tirelessly above. They're the reason we can travel, explore, and even get that late-night delivery to the right door. They bring the world together with broadcasting. Satellites play a massive role in bringing entertainment and information right to your living room. From live sports events to global news coverage, and even your favorite binge-worthy shows, satellites power it all. Communication satellites beam signals from one part of the world to another, making real-time broadcasting possible. Before satellite broadcasting, content delivery was limited to specific regions. Now, a match happening in London can be watched live in Sydney or New York. The same satellites that deliver your shows also provide critical updates during emergencies, ensuring that vital information reaches people no matter where they are. What's even more impressive is how satellites enable connectivity in remote areas. Many parts of the world that lack cable infrastructure rely on satellite TV and internet to stay connected. It's not just about entertainment. It's about bridging gaps and bringing the world closer together. Every time you switch on the TV or stream online content, there's a satellite ensuring you're connected. It's a technology that has quietly but profoundly changed how we share and consume information. They monitor Earth's climate. Climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing humanity, and satellites are at the forefront of tracking and understanding it. These high-tech instruments collect data on sea levels, ice coverage, greenhouse gases, and even deforestation rates, providing an invaluable resource for scientists and policymakers. Satellites like NASA's Aqua and the European Space Agency's Sentinel-6 monitor our planet's vital signs, giving us a clearer picture of how Earth's climate is changing. This data helps predict natural disasters, track global warming trends, and even guide conservation efforts. What makes satellites so powerful is their ability to see the big picture. From their vantage point in space, they can observe changes on a global scale, something that ground-based instruments simply can't achieve. They're also instrumental in creating climate models, helping us prepare for the future. The insights gathered by these satellites don't just stay with scientists, they inform international agreements, guide disaster response, and help us take steps toward a more sustainable future. Satellites are our planet's guardians, providing the knowledge we need to protect it. They revolutionize disaster management. When disaster strikes, satellites are often the first to respond. Whether it's a hurricane, wildfire, or earthquake, satellites provide real-time data that helps authorities plan rescue missions and allocate resources. They capture images of affected areas, track storm paths, and even detect heat signatures from wildfires. Satellites like NOAA's GOES and Copernicus emergency management satellites are specifically designed to assist in these situations. By providing up-to-date information, they enable faster responses, potentially saving countless lives. Imagine being able to predict a flood's path or pinpoint areas where help is needed most. That's the power of satellite technology. It doesn't stop there. Satellites also play a critical role in the aftermath of disasters. They help map damage, monitor recovery efforts, and ensure that resources are distributed effectively. For communities in remote areas where ground communication might be cut off, satellites become the lifeline, enabling emergency communication. In the face of adversity, satellites show their true potential, proving that technology can be a force for good, bringing hope and help when it's needed most. They help track wildlife and conserve nature. Satellites aren't just about technology, they also help protect life on Earth. Conservationists use satellite imagery to monitor wildlife habitats, track animal movements, and combat illegal activities like poaching and deforestation. This bird's-eye view allows scientists to understand ecosystems on a global scale. For example, GPS tracking collars on animals communicate with satellites, providing real-time data on migration patterns and behavior. This information helps create protected areas and plan conservation strategies. Satellites have been instrumental in tracking endangered species like elephants, sea turtles, and even migratory birds. Illegal logging and mining can also be identified through satellite images, helping authorities take action before irreversible damage occurs. Satellites like Landsat have been crucial in exposing deforestation hotspots, giving us the tools to fight environmental destruction. These technological guardians help us coexist with nature. Every pixel of data they provide is a step toward preserving the beauty and diversity of our planet for future generations. They inspire the future of space exploration. Satellites are the foundation of our dreams to explore the cosmos. By studying other planets, mapping distant stars, and even testing technologies for human space travel, satellites are paving the way for the next generation of exploration. Missions like the Hubble Space Telescope and the upcoming James Webb Telescope showcase how satellites can unlock the secrets of the universe. They allow us to study black holes, identify exoplanets, and even search for signs of life in far-off galaxies. Satellites also serve as stepping stones for ambitious projects like colonizing Mars or returning to the Moon. They test communication systems, monitor potential landing sites, and ensure we understand the challenges of space travel before humans take the leap. With every launch, satellites fuel our imagination and remind us of humanity's potential. They're not just tools, they're symbols of what we can achieve when we look beyond the horizon and dare to dream big. And there you have it, 10 simple but incredible facts about how satellites shape our world and beyond. From revolutionizing communication to inspiring space exploration, satellites truly are wonders of modern science. If you love diving into these amazing facts, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech. Hit the bell icon to stay tuned for more thrilling explorations of the wonders all around us. See you next time. What if I told you that at this very moment a ticking time bomb is lurking in space? One so powerful, it could wipe out life on Earth in an instant. No, it's not an asteroid or a rogue planet. It's something far more explosive. A supernova. These stellar explosions unleash more energy in seconds than our sun will produce in its entire lifetime. But how close would one have to be to actually end us? And are there any stars near Earth that are on the edge of destruction? Buckle up because this is about to get intense. What is a supernova? Imagine this, a massive star, burning bright for millions of years, suddenly explodes with the force of 1 billion nuclear bombs. One moment it's there, shining in the night sky, and the next, boom! It erupts in a spectacular explosion, outshining entire galaxies. That, my friends, is a supernova, one of the most powerful and destructive events in the universe. But why does this happen? Well, stars aren't immortal. They live, they burn, and eventually they die. When a massive star, at least 8 times the size of our sun, runs out of fuel, it can no longer hold itself together. Gravity takes over, crushing the core in an instant. This triggers an explosion so powerful that it sends shockwaves across space, scattering elements that will later form new stars, planets, and even life itself. And get this, supernovae are the reason we exist. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, even the gold in your jewelry, all came from the heart of an exploding star. pretty wild, right? But here's the real question. Could a supernova wipe out life on Earth? How close would it need to be? And are there any ticking time bombs lurking in our cosmic neighborhood? Stick around because things are about to get even crazier. Potential threat to Earth. Alright, let's get to the big question. Could a supernova actually wipe us out? The short answer, yes, but only if it's close enough. The real danger zone is about 25 light-years from Earth. If a star within this range explodes, we could be in serious trouble. But how exactly? First, say goodbye to the ozone layer, our planet's protective shield against harmful space radiation. A nearby supernova would blast Earth with high-energy gamma rays and X-rays, stripping away the ozone like peeling off a fragile layer of skin. And once that's gone, deadly ultraviolet rays from the sun would flood the surface, increasing radiation levels and mutating DNA. Imagine crops failing, ecosystems collapsing, and a world suddenly more hostile to life. And that's not even the worst part. Supernovae also unleash a cosmic tsunami of charged particles, bombarding Earth's atmosphere for thousands of years. This could disrupt weather patterns, trigger climate shifts, and even spark mass extinctions, just like the ones that might have happened millions of years ago. So, should we be worried? Well, let's just say we're keeping an eye on a few stars that could go boom any day now. And trust me, you'll want to know which ones are on that list. Historical supernovae. Believe it or not, Earth has already been hit by the echoes of supernovae, and the evidence is hiding right beneath our feet. Scientists have discovered traces of iron-60, a rare radioactive isotope, buried deep in ocean sediments and Antarctic ice. Why is this important? Because iron-60 doesn't naturally occur on Earth, it comes from exploding stars. Around 2 to 3 million years ago, a series of supernovae went off just 150 light-years away, practically next door in cosmic terms. These blasts likely showered Earth with radiation, possibly triggering climate changes, and even contributing to an ancient marine extinction. Imagine massive cosmic waves of energy sweeping across space, subtly reshaping life as we know it. And let's not forget the supernova of 1054 AD, one of the brightest cosmic events ever witnessed by humans. Ancient Chinese and Arab astronomers recorded a mysterious guest star that shone so brightly, it was visible in daylight for weeks. That explosion left behind the famous Crab Nebula, a swirling remnant still expanding today. So while we've never experienced a doomsday-level supernova, the scars of past stellar explosions are all around us, in the rocks, in the sky, and maybe even in our own evolutionary history. The real question is, when's the next one coming? Current nearby supernova candidates. Alright, here's the big question. Are there any stars out there just waiting to explode? The answer, yes. And some of them are closer than you'd like. Let's start with the most famous ticking time bomb, Betelgeuse. You've seen it before, it's the bright reddish star in Orion's shoulder. And guess what? It's on its last breath. Astronomers have been watching it closely because it's been dimming unpredictably, which could mean it's getting ready to go boom! But before you panic, Betelgeuse is about 640 light-years away, too far to hurt us when it finally explodes. But when it does, it'll shine so brightly that we could see it during the day for weeks. Another dangerous suspect? Eta Carinae. This monster star, 100 times the mass of the Sun, has already had a near-explosion event in the 1800s. It's unstable, unpredictable, and one of the best candidates for the next supernova in our galaxy. The good news? It's 7,500 light-years away, a safe distance but still close enough to be spectacular. So, should we be worried? Not yet. The most dangerous supernova would have to be within 25 light-years to really mess with Earth, and right now, we don't have any stars in that danger zone. But the universe is full of surprises, and space is a very unpredictable place. Frequency of dangerous supernovae. So, how often does a supernova actually threaten Earth? Should we be looking up at the sky in fear, waiting for the next cosmic explosion to wipe us out? The good news? Not really. The bad news? It has happened before. Astronomers estimate that a supernova explodes somewhere in the Milky Way about once every 50 years. But for a supernova to be close enough to harm Earth, meaning within 25 light-years, that's much, much rarer. Studies suggest that an extinction-level supernova happens only once every 100 million years or so. That's about the same frequency as major asteroid impacts. So, while it's possible, it's not something we need to lose sleep over. The last time Earth might have felt the effects of a nearby supernova was around 2 to 3 million years ago. Some researchers believe it played a role in cooling the planet and even influencing early human evolution. But as far as a true civilization-ending event, it's unlikely to happen in our lifetimes. So, while the idea of a nearby supernova wiping us out is terrifying, the universe isn't that cruel, at least not yet. But hey, space is full of surprises, and we're just tiny passengers on this cosmic ride. Gamma-ray bursts. Alright, forget supernovae for a second. There's something even scarier lurking in the universe. Something so powerful, it could wipe out life on Earth in seconds without warning. Meet the gamma-ray burst. Gamma-ray bursts are like supercharged cosmic death rays. When some massive stars explode or when two neutron stars collide, they unleash an ultra-powerful beam of radiation that can travel across galaxies. If Earth were ever caught in the crosshairs of one, game over. Unlike a regular supernova, which mostly affects its surroundings, a GRB fires a focused beam of deadly gamma radiation in a straight line, frying everything in its path. If one of these bursts hit Earth, it could strip away the ozone layer, exposing us to lethal UV radiation from the sun. Within days, crops would fail, ecosystems would collapse, and mass extinctions could begin. Scary, right? The good news? Most GRBs happen in distant galaxies, far from us. The bad news? If a GRB were to erupt within 6,000 light-years of Earth and its beam was pointed our way, we'd have zero warning. 1 second, life is normal, the next, the planet is bathed in deadly radiation. So, are we safe? For now. But space is unpredictable and the universe isn't exactly known for playing fair. So, should we be worried about a supernova wiping us out? Probably not anytime soon. But the universe is full of surprises and space is far more unpredictable than we think. One thing's for sure, our planet is just a tiny speck in a vast, explosive cosmos. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of space, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing science and futuristic tech content. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let's keep exploring the universe together. Imagine a planet so hot that it rains molten iron. Sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But what if I told you that this is actually real? Meet WASP-76b, a distant exoplanet where the unimaginable happens. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where metals turn to vapor, only to rain down as liquid iron? Or where the temperature is so extreme that even the toughest materials melt away? Let's dive into this fiery world and explore what makes WASP-76b one of the most mind-blowing planets we've ever discovered. WASP-76b. Let me take you on an incredible journey to a distant corner of the universe, to a planet where the unimaginable becomes reality. Meet WASP-76b, a giant exoplanet about 640 light-years away in the constellation Pisces. Now hold on to your seat because this planet has a feature that will blow your mind. It rains molten iron. Yes, you heard that right, rain made of molten metal. WASP-76b is not like any planet in our solar system, it's an entirely new breed of extreme. Its day side is so intensely hot that it can turn metals like iron into vapor. Think about that for a second. Just the thought of a planet where solid metals become gases is enough to make your head spin. What's even crazier is that this exoplanet's night side is much cooler, and that vaporized iron condenses into droplets, creating what can only be described as a molten iron rainstorm on the cooler side. Isn't that just mind-boggling? When we first discovered this planet, we couldn't have imagined that such extreme conditions existed beyond our own world. This planet is the epitome of a hellish environment, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe and the types of places life could potentially thrive. Ready to dive deeper into this scorching mystery? Let's go! Extreme temperatures. Brace yourselves because the temperature on WASP-76b isn't just hot, it's blistering. On the side facing its star, the temperature soars to a jaw-dropping 2,400 degrees Celsius, which is hotter than the surface of Venus, and even hotter than some parts of the Sun. Imagine a place where metal turns into a vaporous cloud just from the sheer heat. The planet's extreme temperature is a result of its proximity to its host star, making its environment more like an oven than a hospitable place. To put things into perspective, if you were to stand on the day side of WASP-76b, you'd be facing a heat that could easily melt steel, let alone the metal used in construction. This isn't just a casual warm day, this is the kind of heat that would cook anything in an instant. But it doesn't end there. The heat is so intense that it causes elements like iron, magnesium, and silicon to vaporize into gases. These gases then get swept away by the planet's winds carried to the cooler side. The truly fascinating part? That molten metal, which should be solid under normal conditions, becomes part of a strange cosmic weather system. You can't help but marvel at how extreme and wild the universe can get when it pushes the boundaries of temperature to their absolute limits. Tidal locking. Imagine living on a planet where one side is always day and the other side is always night. Welcome to the world of tidal locking, and it's the unique fate of WASP-76b. This exoplanet doesn't spin like Earth does. Instead, it is tidally locked, which means one hemisphere always faces its star, while the other is in complete darkness. Can you imagine what that would be like? On one side, you'd be constantly basking in scorching sunlight, while on the other side, you'd be stuck in eternal darkness, where the temperature plummets to unimaginable lows. This unbalanced division creates two extremes, a blistering hot day side and a freezing cold night side. The lack of rotation gives rise to this severe split, and it's a feature scientists have observed on various exoplanets orbiting distant stars. It's a strange but fascinating phenomenon. The day side of WASP-76b receives an uninterrupted flood of energy from its star, keeping it hot enough to turn metals into vapor. Meanwhile, the night side is deprived of sunlight, causing the temperatures to drop and creating an eerie contrast between the two hemispheres. What's even more mind-blowing is how this tidal locking affects the planet's weather systems. Winds carrying hot gases from the day side sweep across the planet, and they bring all kinds of strange, alien phenomena like molten iron rains. The planet's lack of rotation makes it a place where extremes collide, and that makes it one of the most bizarre worlds we've ever discovered. Could life survive here? Probably not. But it definitely makes you think about how other planets in the universe might function in ways we can barely comprehend. Iron vapor and condensation. Now, let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping features of WASP-76b, the rain of molten iron. Yeah, you heard that right. This planet has a bizarre weather system where iron vapor is created on its scorching day side, and then it condenses into liquid droplets on the cooler night side. This phenomenon is a result of the extreme temperature differences between the two halves of the planet. The day side of WASP-76b is a hellish furnace where temperatures are so high that metals, particularly iron, are vaporized into gases. Think of it as a metal mist swirling in the air, made possible by the scorching heat. But what happens when this vaporized iron is carried away by the planet's winds and reaches the cooler, dark side? The temperature drops and suddenly, that vapor can't stay in the air. It condenses back into droplets of molten iron. This creates an unbelievable phenomenon, iron rain. Now, if you were somehow able to stand on the cooler side of WASP-76b, you'd find yourself getting drenched by droplets of molten iron, which is a little bit more than just a rainy day. These iron droplets would be sizzling hot and dangerous, turning everything they touch into a fiery molten mess. The wind and weather systems on this planet are responsible for this process, and it's a bizarre kind of rain that defies everything we know about Earth's water cycle. The science behind it is fascinating, and it raises questions about how exoplanetary atmospheres work. Could there be other planets where different metals rain down instead of water? And what does this mean for planets with extreme conditions? The iron rain of WASP-76b is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to understanding how wild and strange alien weather can get. Discovery and observations. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain was a breakthrough that expanded our understanding of exoplanets and their extreme environments. In March 2020, astronomers using the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope made an incredible observation. They detected the presence of iron vapor in the atmosphere of WASP-76b. And just like that, we were introduced to a new world, where conditions are so extreme that metals can exist in gaseous form. This was no ordinary discovery. For years, scientists have been exploring exoplanets and trying to understand how different they could be from Earth. While we've come across many unusual worlds, WASP-76b stood out because of its unique and violent weather system. Thanks to the telescope's advanced capabilities, astronomers were able to analyze the planet's atmosphere in unprecedented detail. They found strong signs of vaporized iron and other heavy metals in the atmosphere, an indication that this exoplanet wasn't just hot, it was a place where extreme conditions could produce strange, almost otherworldly phenomena. But the implications of this discovery go beyond just knowing that iron rains on a planet light years away. It opens up new avenues for studying the weather systems of distant planets, their atmospheres, and how they interact with their stars. The ability to observe such detailed phenomena on distant exoplanets gives us a glimpse into what other extreme worlds might be out there, worlds where rain could be made of metals, or where the atmosphere could be filled with strange gases. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain shows us how little we truly know about the universe, and how much more there is to learn. Significance. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain is more than just an astronomical curiosity. It holds immense significance for our understanding of exoplanetary science and the conditions that exist beyond our solar system. This planet challenges the very notion of what a habitable world could look like. The extreme temperatures and bizarre weather systems are like nothing we've ever experienced here on Earth. Studying planets like WASP-76b helps us understand the limits of planetary conditions and pushes the boundaries of what we consider possible in terms of extreme environments. Beyond the fascination of molten rain and scorching temperatures, there's a broader implication. It raises questions about the diversity of planets in the universe. If a planet like WASP-76b can exist with such harsh and alien conditions, what other kinds of planets are out there? What's the likelihood that there are other worlds with strange weather systems, and could they support different forms of life, or at least show us new ways of understanding how life might adapt in extreme environments? WASP-76. B's discovery also highlights the incredible advances in telescope technology. Observing iron vapor in the atmosphere of an exoplanet wasn't possible just a few decades ago, but now, with instruments like the Very Large Telescope, we're able to analyze these distant worlds with astonishing detail. This kind of research not only broadens our knowledge of the universe, but also shapes the future of space exploration. So, as we continue to look deeper into the cosmos, we're reminded that the universe is vast, full of surprises, and far more complex than we ever imagined. And who knows? Maybe this is just one of the many astonishing worlds waiting for us to uncover. So, what do you think? Could we ever encounter a planet as extreme as WASP-76b in our own galaxy? Or are we just scratching the surface of what's out there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey through space as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing discoveries. Thanks for watching, and stay curious about the mysteries of the universe.